For more on what to expect as the holiday shopping season gets underway and which retailers to watch, let's bring in Deborah Weinswig, founder and CEO of Coresight Research, and Stacey Widlitz, president of SW Retail Advisors. We heard Courtney just lay it out there that customers are expected, or they have said they intend to spend more than last year. That is certainly good news for retailers. Stacey, where else are you looking for good news?
So the best news I've seen, and happy Cyber Week, by the way, so much at stake this week. 25% of holiday sales are going to take place over this period, and we're already off to the races. The good news is I track about 70 companies, and so far the overwhelming majority have promotions that are flat to down versus last year. So margins in the industry so far are intact. And what we've seen really after we just exited Q3 earnings is that consumers are willing to pay full price when the product is good. So I think certainly shoppers are going to be out there. They're not used to seeing bargains so much anymore because retailers are doing more full price. So they're going to be using AI to try to really search out those deals.
It's interesting that you expect Macy's and Kohl's, Stacey, to be losers here.
Absolutely. And you look at what they just reported. Kohl's comps were down 10%. I mean, that was a pretty jaw-dropping comp. When you look at Walmart comps up 5%, by the way, Target, flattish, should have been gaining that share from Kohl's, direct competitor there. So huge disappointment. Macy's also disappointing, but clearly those are share losers in business. That is not new news. And then certainly you have others that are absolutely picking up share, like Walmart. 75% of their comp came from the higher income consumer. So that's a big shift and a big win.
Deborah, do you agree with Stacey's assessment of the season and who comes out on top and who doesn't?
I think we're actually forgetting some pretty important newer entrants to the market like Shein and Temu, who are also being incredibly aggressive with a lot of these Gen AI tools, really kind of focusing on these hauls and social media to not only connect with their consumers, but also to make sure they're staying on top of the deals. So I agree with everything Stacey said, and I'm just building on top of that.
Deb, I actually have a question for you. When we're talking about spending and intentions, how do you think all of this plays out with pricing? Stacey was talking about promotions, but obviously in general, prices are up something 20%, give or take, per category when we're comparing it back to 2019. So if you're a shopper and you're saying, yes, I'm going to spend more, is that because you're buying more or because you just know prices are higher?
Courtney, that is a great question. I will tell you, we've been very surprised at Coresight on the amount of pricing work we've done in 24, which is unlike anything that we've seen. So I think retailers are localizing price much more than they have in the past. They're thinking about where can they take margin and where can they invest. And this goes back to Stacey's comments on Walmart, because they're seeing significant growth in retail media, also known as advertising, and also data monetization and Walmart Plus. They can invest in price. So that's putting them in a completely different category than many of their peers.